Good evening and welcome to Gambian Talents TV News in English. We are broadcasting to viewers home and abroad. Our top stories tonight. President Adama Barrow delivers a major boost to Gambian agriculture, handing over 60 tractors and modern equipment to communities as part of a national drive to increase productivity and create employment. The fight against female genital cutting continues, with campaigner fought while they're leading efforts to protect girls after a recent tragic incident brought renewed attention to the issue. In sports, Campbelltown retains their Super Cup crown with a thrilling 1-0 victory over Joshua City at Sarakuna West Park. Those and more news stories after this short commercial break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. This is Gttv News and I am Aissatou Koli. We begin with a major boost for Gambian farmers as the government moves to modernize the country's agriculture. President Adama Barrow has officially handed over 60 tractors and a host of modern farming equipment to communities across the country. This initiative is part of a larger plan to distribute a total of 180 tractors designed to improve productivity, create jobs, and help feed a growing population. More on this report. This initiative, a collaborative effort between the Ministry of Agriculture and co-financier UNA Group, underscores the government's commitment to bolstering agricultural productivity and ensuring food security for all Gambians. Assembled for delivery today are 60 tractors, each with a capacity of 75 horsepower, 18 disc harrows, and 10 typing tillers. Alongside these are other modern implements such as rotary tillers, seed drills, and planters. The assets presented today form part of a larger package of 180 tractors and accessories that the government through the Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock and Food Security procure for farming communities. The Permanent Secretary hailed the Barrow government for its initiative in mechanizing the agricultural sector, emphasizing how the tractors will help farmers achieve sustainable production.
This mechanization is in the right direction. This is going to create the job that is needed in the community because it will no longer be hard work. When you introduce plowing, you introduce transplanting machines, you introduce harvesting. What do you do as a farmer? Because there will be a time, not long, in the next 2-3 years, we might not farm in our communities because the land will be gone, because farming will be too cheap. Farming is the only job that government don't frown. Whether you are a civil servant or not, you can have your small farm and come to work.
Mohamed Manjang, board chairman of UNA Group, underscored the importance of the tractors, adding that
the prosperity that begins in our fields will extend throughout our rural economies, creating the foundations that give our young people compelling reasons to stay, invest, and build their futures here. Your Excellency, the Gambia spends millions annually importing food that we can produce locally. This dependency undermines our sovereignty and exposes our people to global price shocks. These tractors represent our march toward food self-sufficiency. With mechanization, farmers can increase yields dramatically. Where a farmer previously cultivated 2 hectares manually, these tractors enable the cultivation of 10 hectares or more. This means ripe self-sufficiency and reduced costly imports.
Alaji Sise, Vice President of the Farmers Union, expressed delight and thanked the President for the tractors. He highlighted how the agricultural sector has transformed under President Barrow and urged his fellow farmers to take good care of the equipment, ensuring the President of a landslide victory in 2026 presidential election. For his part, President Adama Barrow said the distribution of these tractors reaffirms his government's irreversible resolve to transform agriculture into a mechanized, efficient, and business-oriented sector. He added that mechanization is imperative if the country is to feed its growing population, create jobs for youth, and reduce the import bill. To achieve this, he added that mechanization must be implemented responsibly, transparently, and sustainably.
Mechanization is imperative if we are to feed our growing population, create jobs for our youth, and reduce our import bill. To get the most out of it, however, we must mechanize responsively, transparently, and sustainably. That is why a co-financing model has been introduced to ensure ownership and accountability from both the government and beneficiaries of the initiative. Within these arrangements, whereas the Gambia government will shoulder 25% of the total costs, the beneficiary farmer or farmer group will contribute 25% upfront to receive a tractor and its implements.
The Gambian leader further stressed that no one should be allowed to waste or mismanage such public investment. These tractors are not gifts. They are instruments of growth, procured within the framework of shared responsibility for service and maximum productivity. Consequently, violation of any contractual agreement may lead to the withdrawal of the equipment or the application of other appropriate measures, he warned.
Ladies and gentlemen, we must not allow anyone waste or mismanage such public investments. These tractors are not a gift. They are instruments of growth, procured within the framework of shared responsibility for service and maximum productivity. Consequently, violation of any contractual agreement may lead to the withdrawal of the equipment or the application of other appropriate measures.
Farmers and partners are urged to work together to ensure this investment delivers maximum result. The Ministry of Agriculture is tasked with operating transparently and efficiently in implementing the program. It must monitor, evaluate, and support beneficiaries to help transform their lives. The statement also expressed gratitude to development partners and stakeholders, inviting them to continue supporting the journey towards food self-sufficiency and agricultural prosperity in the Gambia. The initiative is presented as a commitment, a contract, and a catalyst for agricultural transformation. It aims to improve the lives and livelihoods of poor, vulnerable, and disadvantaged groups in society. The message concludes with a call for collaborative action to ensure this initiative achieves tangible results. Reporting for Gttv News, Aisa Tukuli. We now bring you a story on the harmful practice of cutting women and girls, which continues despite being outlawed. A recent tragedy has brought renewed attention to the issue, as we hear in this report by Modula Minjuk, under efforts led by campaigner Fatou Balde, who is determined to protect the next generation of girls.
For decades, Fatou Balde has been campaigning to end the cutting of women and girls in the Gambia. Despite a 2015 law banning the practice, it remains widely carried out, deeply rooted in cultural traditions and misconceptions about religion and morality.
It's been a mixed reaction, obviously. FGM is a deeply rooted practice. We know that there are some community members that still support the practice. So it's understandable to have mixed reactions. But if you follow on online reactions, particularly from Gambians, majority of people are condemning what happened. As I said again, we should not be dealing with babies dying unnecessarily in this time of 2025.
UNICEF estimates that around 73% of Gambian women aged 15 to 49 have undergone the procedure. Some believe that cutting reduces sexual desire and prevents promiscuity. Ideas campaigners say are false and dangerous. The practice turned deadly again this year when a 1-month-old baby girl died following cutting. 3 women were charged, including a 70-year-old who faces life imprisonment under Section 32A of the Women's Amendment Act. 2 others were charged as accomplices, but later released on bail.
I believe that in 2023, the case of the 3 women that were found guilty of practicing FGM, which sparked the debate on the law, had that case been dealt with in the way that it was supposed to be, that those women were not just given a small fine, and that religious leaders and policy makers didn't take that opportunity to look for attention and come out and demand that the ban be lifted up, we would have seen a big change. We could have probably saved this baby if a right example was set at that time. And for me, that's why I believe we have another opportunity to correct that. You know, a lot of people argued before that the law was 2015 was passed under a dictatorship, and that during that time, Gambians didn't have the opportunity for the ban to be debated and so on, and so there were a lot of criticisms.
Ms. Balde says the tragedy highlights the failure of authorities to enforce the law effectively. She recalls a 2022 case in the Central River region where perpetrators were fined and released, arguing that stronger punishments could have prevented this recent death. Fatu Balde and other activists remain committed to protecting girls, calling on the government and communities to take decisive actions. For them, ending cutting is not just about law, it's about saving lives and giving girls control over their own bodies. A tragic reminder of the dangers of traditions where laws go unenforced. Campaigners like Fat Balde continue to fight for a future where no girl in the Gambia has to fear cutting. Reporting for Gttv News, I am Mutlamin Job.
In a sombering moment, as Alhaji Ahmed Bensouda, who served as permanent secretary under the Jawara government, was laid to rest at Joshua Cemetery, hundreds of mourners paid their respects. Family, friends, former classmates, and government officials gathered to honor a man celebrated for his integrity, generosity, and lifelong service to both faith and country. Yusuf Andu reports.
The atmosphere at the mosque was filled with reverence as hundreds gathered to pay their respect. A former classmate, friends, and government representative all came together to honor a man widely respected for his dedications and generosity. Lawyer Hussein Udabo, a schoolmate from St. Augustine's, reflected on their long friendships. He highlighted Ahmed Bensouda's commitment to education and relationship, his respect for his duty while working in government, his upright character, helpfulness to people, and devotion to Islam. Mr. Dabo said he prays Allah forgive his shortcomings and grant him heaven. Ahmed Ba, Minister of Land and Religious Affairs, representing the government, described Alhaji Bensouda as a man who worked well, left a good legacy, and was very helpful to people. He emphasized Bensouda's devotion to Islam and his generosity in supporting the needy and poor. Flowing prayers at the mosque, the funeral processions moved to the cemetery for the burial. Attendees reflect on his lifelong contribution to governments and society, celebrating the generosity's integrity and faith that defined his life. It is clear that Alhaji Bensouda's passing is deeply felt across the community. His work, his government, and his dedications to helping others have left a mark that will not be forgotten. His legacy continued through his family, including Mayor Talib Bensouda, and through all the lives he touched with his service and charity. Life will live, remember, with respect and admirations. Reporting for Gttv News, Yusuf Draindur.
A former Gambian soldier has been arrested after making controversial remarks during a radio interview. Abdoulaye Sanyang, who has been living in Switzerland since fleeing the country under the Jambes regime, was detained at Banjul International Airport while attempting to return home. The comments that triggered the arrest were made on Coffee Time with Peter Gomez on West Coast Radio. Kausudafe reports.
Abdoulaye Sanyang, a former Gambian soldier, was taken into custody at Banjul International Airport on Monday. Police say the arrest followed an interview he gave on Coffee Time with Peter Gomez last week, which raised concerns over national security. Police spokesman Cadet ASP Mod Musa Sisao confirmed the arrest, saying it was connected to remarks made during the interview. Sanyang made a series of serious claims. He talked about bribing operatives loyal to former President Jammeh to abandon an alleged association plot against President Barrow. He also accused the current Gambian ambassador to Mauritania of election ragging and claimed fraudulent voters' ID cards were used in past elections. On top of that, he admitted defunding an Auson's attack on the APRC's Kanifing Bureau and supporting a protest linked to the death of Solo Sandeng.
I knew but it's the same trench. The people who did that for Yaya Jammeh is the same people working with Adama Barrow now. And Jammeh have 300, he always cry out, where's my 300,000 votes? Everybody heard of this. Where's the 300,000 votes? It's bond at the APRC Bureau in Kanifing. That compound belongs to Abu Dentin. May he so rest in peace. It's not belongs to Jammeh. Jammeh, those are the compound Jammeh seized from our APRC PPP officials when we took over. So the APRC, the clandestine votes, the voters' card, they always gathered and prepared for the election. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's how Jammeh maintained. That's why he said sport counting. Because people came, he prepared these ID cards, kept in the bureau. The late Mayor Koli, Yankuba Koli, these are the people who are doing all this dirty job for Jammeh.
So they would stuff the ballot box.
Stuff the ballot box.
So when people say our election is rig proof, the voting system, there's no way you can cheat, you're saying already there would have been marbles in the boxes before.
They are there. In fact, Jammeh, they have bosses who gone from Mauritania to Casamas to Guinea-Bissau. They will locate them in Gambia College. Even the vice president's quarters here, some of them were arrested.
They would house them there.
They house them there. That's why let me not go to Adama Barrow, yes. And Jammeh will locate them. Some will go and stay in Kanilai. Some will live with the Casamas people, will live with our fellow Jola family members in Talinding, in Bundung. So we knew all their locations. These are how the 300,000 vote Jammeh was crying out. That's how he manipulated our election.
Well, of course, the APRC has denied all these allegations.
Oh, we are facts. When we burned down the APRC bureau, we facilitated this. We paid for this, and we paid to rescue our people in any other form that we can see that free and fair play to our democratic system. So we designate our soldiers and our loyal citizens to burn down that APRC bureau. I'm part of it. I can never deny it. Solo Sandeng, we organized Solo Sandeng coming out for demonstration for electoral reforms. Among it, the director of Gamtel, Lamin Tunkara, is part of it. Nyancho Sane is part of it, and many more. We are the people who sponsor it. Within, we have, because we have to work as teams, from within and outside, that Solo Sandeng and Lamin Silla, one of it is in the US now. He's also in the US. He's part of the political activists. We organized the demonstration that our people have to come outside. That's why I'm here, for the gala demonstration. I paid my ticket to come to Gambia to join gala, to demonstrate our fundamental rights. And this is how we organize Solo Sandeng and others to come out and demonstrate for political reform. Then eventually Solo lost. Many of them have been arrested and detained at the NIA, beaten to death. I'm the one who paid the $30,000 to collect that, to extract that information from the SIS. I pay people in the SIS under my payroll.
What information?
That Solo Sandeng, after beating him, tortured, he is dead.
Okay.
So I got it. They sent me the picture. They sent me the picture of Solo lying on the mattress. All his body is covered with blood. So we relayed that message. I paid the NIA under my payroll. There were two in number who went and picked Lamin Sanya and the doctor to come and sound Solo Sandeng.
Sanya was transferred to Bruceby Criminal Investigation Department, where he remains in police custody as investigations continue. Authorities have not yet specified exactly which remarks led to his detention, but the case has certainly drawn public attention and debates. Reporting for Gttv, I am Kausudafe.
Thank Tensions are rising in West Coast region as angry protesters take to the streets over ongoing land dispute. Protesters in Katong and Berending have brought attention to a conflict that has been simmering for years. Ami Jallow has the rest of that.
Our land, our life. Our land, our life. We don't want civil war. We don't want civil war. No land grabbing. No land grabbing. Our land, our life. Our land, our life.
Dozens of villagers from Katong and Berending marched along the main road, waving banners and chanting in defense over what they said is the unlawful seizure of their ancestral land. The protesters voiced echoed with frustration, calling on the government to uphold justice and protect their communities. Placards demanding justice were held high, with slogans highlighting fears of escalating violence if the disputes remain unresolved. The demonstration comes aimed a broader pattern of land conflicts across the West Coast region, where rapid urban expansion has intensified competition for farmland and property. In recent years, areas including Katong, Berending, Gunjur and Sukuta have all witnessed clash over land, with some incidents resulting in homes being demolished and families displaced. Villagers accuse local authorities of siding with powerful landowners, leaving communities feeling abandoned and ignored. Residents warn that without swift government action, these simmering disputes could spiral further, threatening social stability and peace in the region. Analyst says the ongoing conflicts highlight the urgent need for clear land policies and effective conflict resolution mechanism. For now, districts of Katong and Berending remain filled with voices demanding justice. As tension rises, the question remains, can the government step in before these disputes escalate into larger unrest? Reporting for Gttv News, Ami Jallow.
From that story by Ami Jallow will lead us to our first break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back. In music, the Gambian music scene is buzzing today as one of the country's most celebrated stars announced a major album collaboration. ST Brikama Boyo is set to bring together artists who were once rivals, signaling a new era of unity in the industry. Modu Lamin Job reports.
ST Brikama Boyo, a household name in Gambian music for over a decade, has revealed that his long-awaited album will feature former rivals Atta Gay and Jizzle. This collaboration comes just weeks after the two artists reconciled with business tycoon Moturo Dabo, credited for helping mend fences. The announcement was made on social media, where ST Brikama Boyo shared details of the project and listed other notable collaborators, including Abu and Fafa, Big Banga, A2 and T-Berry. Fans quickly reacted with excitement and anticipation trending across platforms. The album, set for release in February 14, 2026, is expected to be a landmark project. Industry analysts say it could reshape perceptions of rivalry in Gambian music and foster greater collaboration among artists. ST's reputation for maintaining professionalism and avoiding online conflicts has made him a respected figure in the scene, and this album is seen as a continuation of that ethos. The project also highlights the growing trend of unity and collective effort in Gambian music, as younger artists and veterans alike seek to create a more collaborative environment. Music fans and industry stakeholders are watching closely, eager to see how these reunions translate into the final album. With former rivals now working together and a host of popular artists featured, ST Brikama Boyo's upcoming album promises to be one of the most anticipated releases in Gambian music history. The industry and fans alike are waiting to see if this could mark a new chapter of harmony and creativity in the country's music scene. Reporting for Gttv News, I am Mudlamin Job.
From that story will lead us to our second break. We'll be right back. Sports is up next. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Now turning to sports. It was a night full of tension, skill, and heartbreak at Serekunda West Park as Campbelltown successfully defeated their Super Cup crown. In a tightly contested clash, they narrowly defeated Joshua City 1-0, keeping their title and sending fans into celebrations. The stadium was alive from the first whistle, with thousands of supporters cheering, waving banners, and reacting to every near-missed and attacking move. Kausudafe reports.
Campbelltown trump was sealed thanks to Mustafa Fofana, who found the back of the net in the 68 minutes. Following a real lapse from Joshua's goalkeeper from the first whistle, both sides attacked with intensity, each eager to claim the early advantage. Joshua City looked the sharper side in the opening exchanges. Mustafa Drame came closer in the 21st minutes, while lightning corner from Ibrahima Jame forces a brilliant save from Campbelltown goalkeeper Bakari Tarawale. After the break, Omar Pabi Jame also tested the goalkeeper, but it was denied once more. Despite throwing everything forward in the final minute, Joshua couldn't break through. The final whistle sparked, while celebrations at Campbelltown lifted the Super Cup, gold medals and $35,000, while Joshua settled for silver medal with $25,000. Speaking after the match, Musa Njai, Joshua City's assistant coach, reflected on team's misfortune against Campbelltown, but expressed his hope for the future. Meanwhile, Campbelltown head coach Matar Gomez praised the fans for their unwavering support and promised more success in seasons ahead.
I'm very impressed because in one way, I groomed them very young. That's the beautiful story about it. They were here at the small age, from the academy basic, and now we are winners together. I'm very happy with that, Patience. I've been in competition for a long time, but patience was the key. I understand the system, I read the system, I understand the system. I believe that, if we come very slow, low profile, we can achieve great.
The atmosphere at the well-organized Serekunda West Mini Stadium was electric, with supporters on edge of their seats until the final whistle. For Gttv Sport News, I am Kausudafe reporting from Serekunda West Mini Stadium, whilst Campbelltown continue to reign supreme in Gambian Football Super Cup.
From football to boxing, a 14-year-old Gambian boxer in London is attracting attention after winning gold medals and reaching the England finals. During a recent visit to the Gambia, he spoke about his training, family life, and ambitions as he prepares for his next competition. Modula Minjob looks at the rise of Jinjai.
Jinjai is fast becoming one of the brightest young talents in London's boxing scene. Born to Gambian parents, he has already claimed 2 gold medals in London competitions and reached England finals. Last week, Njai traveled to the Gambia, where he shared his journey with Gambian Talents Promotion TV. His visit combined holiday time with intensive training as he prepares for his next competition on September 5th, 6th and 7th in the under-42 category. Balancing schoolwork with boxing is a challenge, but Jinjai says he's focused on building his career while keeping his studies on track.
Well, I'll have to leave my phone. I'll have to sacrifice a lot of things like my phone, and I'll have to focus a lot more so I can be able to balance it out.
Ahead of next month's competition, Njai called on his supporters to continue believing in him.
Keep believing in me and keep believing in yourself, and don't let anyone's word turn you down.
Jane also revealed that he spent most of his holiday helping his father on the farm, something quite unusual for a Gambian athlete returning from Europe for vacation.
I'd probably say just my consciousness as I see my dad working, and I think, why will I sit down and watch my dad work hard? Why not I join him or I help him?
In his final remarks, he encouraged young people with these words.
Keep believing in me, keep believing in yourself. Don't ever let anyone put you down. Never give up on your dreams.
Reporting for Gttv News, I am Modlamin Job.
Well, that's it from us. But before we take a leave of you, here are our top stories once again. President Adama Barrow delivers a major boost to Gambian agriculture, handing over 60 tractors and modern equipment to communities as part of a national drive to increase productivity and create employment. The fight against female genital cutting continues, with campaigner Fatoubalde leading efforts to protect girls after a recent tragic incident brought renewed attention to the issue. In sports, Campbelltown retains their Super Cup crown with a thrilling 1-0 victory over Joshuang City at Sarakuna West Park. While we draw the curtains for this news bulletin, I have been your presenter, Aisha Tukoli. Do have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.